Hi, it's Trish Brennan. I'm here today to share a little nugget around personal boundaries and dignity. Those of you who saw my previous video where I talked about the scary aspects of being boundaried will see that this is a great follow-up because we've talked about some of the negatives, or not negatives, but some of the hard truth about being boundaried. And today I want to share a bit of the why be boundaried, what the benefits are, and the benefits are so humongous. Today I just want to touch on one thing. So we have some knowledge, if you've watched the previous video, that becoming boundaried is quite a challenging journey. If you consider how old you are today, how many years have you been being the person that you are known as by other people? All of the years up until today. So there are two sides to that. One is that you have that challenge to overcome of all those patterns, and change takes time, and we're not, generally speaking, very pro change. It takes a big commitment, a lot of courage and determination to change things that we're so used to. The other side is that other people are used to you presenting in a particular way. So a whole dynamic has been set up around all of your relationships. That's with yourself, with other people, with your parents, with your siblings, with your friends, with a lover or a partner, with people that we work with, however long we've known them. So everything we know about ourselves hinges on that old dynamic. So stepping out of it to behave in a different way can feel really frightening, really scary, because it's like, wow, how are they going to react? And am I going to know myself? Who am I going to perceive myself as if I dare to do this differently? So you are going to rock the boat, and it is a fact that if you enter into any kind of personal development, along with that comes the risk that some relationships, some connections in your life might not stand that. The people that really matter to you, if you matter to them as much as they matter to you, they will do the journey with you, and they will learn from you. You will influence them in a very positive way, but it will change the dynamic of your relationship, and also you've got to be willing for that, because you can't be half a boundaried human being. You have to grant that freedom to somebody else as well. And when I say grant that freedom, I mean not allow them, but you're inviting them to be boundaried if you state your boundaries. And you will have to tolerate the change in that too, because you might not like certain things about them being boundaried. So it's shifting the whole dynamic in any connection when you start to become boundaried. One of the things I just want to restate about boundaries is, for me, I refer to boundaries as the language of the future, because absolutely that's what it is. When you consider how much is changing and how fast things are changing in the world around us, how we're ever more every day feeling the breath of Big Brother breathing down our necks, trying to control every aspect of our lives, we become less boundaried, because that's what they want. That's what the system wants. It wants compliant people who will just go along with the flow. And every time you sit in a restaurant and have a bad meal delivered to you and don't say anything, you are going along with that. You're compliant in that whole we don't say anything system. And it doesn't serve you or the other person, actually, but I can feel myself going off a tangent here, and that's for another day, or that's for really something we cover in working with me on boundaries and becoming boundaried. But one thing I want to share in particular is that when you begin to learn how to communicate in this new language, you are going to find a freedom that you never imagined possible. And it's kind of hard to even begin to nutshell it, because it's so vast. The benefits are so vast to becoming boundaried. But dignity is the subject of this little video. And what I want to share with you is that when you become boundaried, you will find that we're on this side of being boundaried. You might imagine that if you suddenly became aware that somebody was manipulating you or mistreating you, something you may have glossed over, you may have made excuses for, you may have become so conditioned by it that you don't even see it anymore. But when you start to clear the rose-coloured glasses and start to look more honestly at these things, it can feel like an insult to you to realise that your good nature has been taken advantage of and somebody else has, has willfully really played along with that because it's to their advantage to do that. You can feel angry about that and resentful, and you might think that, I want revenge, I want retribution, I want them to feel like I feel now. I want them to feel the pain of the hurt I feel about what they've done and how they've behaved. But one part of being boundaried that resides in the scary aspect of being boundaried is that you have to take responsibility when you start to be boundaried for your results. And part of that is realizing that any unhealthy or codependent dynamic that's going on in your life today, you are playing an equal role in that dynamic. It might not feel like that at this stage, and believe me, I understand that because that was my painful arrival in the world of boundaries. You have to see that you educate other people in how they can treat you by nature of your tolerating it. You're not powerless. You're really not. And it's scary to realise that, but it's liberating to realise that too. So just returning to dignity, the reason why there is great dignity in becoming boundaried is because when you take back your power and realise that you have played an equal role in an unhealthy dynamic, that then puts you in a position where you've realised your power, and there is no need to take that from anyone else. That, in blame there is a taking of power from other people. You may have, if you've ever read the Celestine prophecy, you kind of understand that we and this is why my book is called How to Change the Game, because we're in a game. Sometimes it's a terrible game, obviously with so many things in the world that will show that, but it's ultimately a game. It's what we will tolerate, and therein lies your root to your sovereignty, if only you realised it. So what happens is your return or your reclaiming of your power frees you from any desire for retribution or punishing somebody else, for punishing somebody else. Suddenly it just simply doesn't matter. It really does not matter. When you arrive in that space where you realise your power, it's so liberating. I can't begin to tell you how wonderful it is. And therein lies your dignity, because it simply doesn't matter what anybody else might have done to you in the past, how anybody else might have treated you, because you suddenly see, now I know why. Now I know why that was going on. It makes perfect sense to me now. And in that freedom that you feel, you can walk away, if you choose to do that, with your head held high, because you feel so free and so powerful that you never need again take power from anybody else to fill the hole that resides in you, as long as you're giving your power away. So that's it for my nugget for today. I want to just remind that I train in personal boundaries in different ways. I can work with you one-to-one, coaching through 6 sessions where we'll work together through your specific boundary challenges and help you to change it in your own unique ways, because everybody has their own unique maps of the world, how they got to be who they are today. I also deliver the Powerful Personal Boundaries coaching program, which is over 10 weeks, and that takes you through a set program where we'll still cover your personal stuff. So it's a brilliant course. And also I do something I call the Boundaries Brainstorm, or the Boundaries Clinic. So if you have a particular challenge that you are facing just now, and you maybe are thinking, I wonder if there's some new way I could handle this, that allows me to reclaim some of my power, then you can have a dabble with this, work through this with me in a half-hour session. There's no future obligation to a course or coaching unless you want to do that. But the boundaries brainstorm is just dealing with a specific issue, a specific challenge that you might be having right now, to help you look at possible boundaried responses to it. And you can then get a taster for why you need to become boundaried. You can find out more about these different services I offer on my website, which is the W's leadingedgecommunication.net. You can email me at connect@leadingedgecommunication.net, or comment below in the thread wherever you've seen this video. And of course, if you know me personally, you can always give me a call. So that's it for today. I want to leave you with that to absorb the message in that. And if you have any comments, queries or anything, please get in touch either of the ways that I've mentioned to you. And meantime, enjoy your day, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye for now.